Hello friends, this is Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and I'm here today to share a really fun little folio that you can make using just one sheet of cardstock. I am going to do a tutorial where I show you how to build the base today, but first I thought we'd start by just taking a look at the folio. This is made for the Frilly and Funky Design Team Challenge. The challenge is know when to fold them, which included having to use folded paper in a way that elevates the design. So I came up with this little folio design. It's really fun. I used Graphic 45 vintage Hollywood papers, and as you can see, it's a dimensional little album made from one piece of paper. Here on the cover I used Wendy Vecchi's paper doll and paper pieced the hat and the hair, and then just sponged in the face and the lips. These are Petaloo anemones and Botanica sugared blossoms. This is a piece of the border that I took from the paper collection and just twisted around to look like a movie reel. A little chipboard tag, another tag from the collection. But basically this is a staggered type album, and by that I mean the pages are different sizes. Here's a ribbon closure because otherwise it has a hard time staying shut. So we'll just take a peek inside. So this first little section, the pages are 3 inches wide by 5 inches high. And I've created little pockets here with little craft tags that I've decorated with items from the collection. These little chipboards, a little border piece, banner flags that I cut from scraps. This ribbon that I've used throughout I got from Really Reasonable Ribbon. It's 1.5 inch wide, antique gold, silky crushed ribbon. That's what it's called, yes. And then I just used a little piece of gold metallic string. So the little tags can be used for journaling. I don't know, you could have if you had a child who was involved in drama in school, just get a little chip in there hot off the press. This would be a really fun way to document like a play that they were in. I've used little metallic embellishments throughout. This little tag is got this cute little itty bitty tiny frame. It's only about 3/4 of an inch, and I just cut, can you see that, a really small image from the paper collection and put it back there. Some fussy cutting. There's lots of stars because it's a Hollywood theme, and then this is from the tags and pockets. So that goes in there. To make it easier to turn the pages, I added these little tabs from Tammy Tutterow, and I'll go through all the supplies here in just a second. Here's another page just to mount a picture. I always put the little pieces so that you can put a picture back behind there. And then this is a really fun feature. This is Tammy's waterfall folio, and I just cut a bunch of these. This is not glued to the top, but it does provide a nice focal. A little charm that I added a fussy cut image in a cabochon. And then on the inside, you've got these little 2 3/4 inch squares with belly bands. And then the little fussy cut images from the 8x8 paper collection can be tucked back behind that belly band. So, and you could use the back, you could put smaller photo booth style photos. Same thing here, just with a different paper pattern. So there's room for photos there. Another larger photo piece here with another fussy cut image. Another one of Tammy's tabs, and I just put a fancy button on top of that. And then this little pocket at the back with a trimmed down ephemera card from the collection, and just a little journaling image from the 8x8 paper collection in here, and this fussy cut image from the paper collection. And then on this page there's a pocket with another ephemera. I meant to put that in this way, sorry. Another ephemera card, and then on the back, of course, you can journal, add photos, and this pocket is good size because this back page is actually 5 by 7. So you could put full-size photos in the pocket at the back. These pages are, I want to say they're 3, let me measure it really quick. I wrote all the things down. Yeah, these are 3 1/4 by 6 1/2. So again, you can put a couple of cute little photos in here as well. And then, of course, ran the ribbon around the back. There's another look at the front. So I'm just going to set this aside. I'll go through very quickly what I used to make the album. Hold on one second. These are the Petaloo flowers. These are the anemones, red anemones from Petaloo. And then these are the Botanica sugared red minis in burgundy. For my tags, I use these Rangers number size craft tags. I used chipboard from the Vintage Hollywood collection. This is just such a great, almost Art Deco feel to this collection. It's really fun to work with. And I used the 8x8 paper pad, which we can just flip through. You can see just wonderful, wonderful colors, vintage Hollywood, classic Hollywood. Really fun to use. And I used quite a bit of this actually, but it's sized right for this little album. And the ephemera cards that go with the collection. I use some images from the pockets and tags to help decorate. And here's that Wendy Vecchi paper doll stamp that I was telling you about. You can get this at the Funky Junky Boutique. I used the bracketed edge of Tammy Tutero's Waterfall 1 die to make the little waterfall feature, the little folio feature in there. And then to make all the tabs, I used her tab set 1. And then I did use some pages from the 12x12 patterns and solids, just to use as backgrounds and stuff. So that's the supplies. Now, what are you going to need to make this album? To make the folio base, which is what we're going to do now, you need 1 sheet of 12x12 cardstock. And you're going to start by cutting your cardstock. I don't need this. Cut your cardstock to measure 12 inches wide by 7 inches high. And I forgot my, no, I brought my scoring tool. Here we go. So then you're going to need a scoring tool. And you're going to lay your paper onto your scoring tool. So here's the 1/2 inch, and you're just going to go down 2, and that's a 1/4 inch, and you're going to score all the way down. And then you're going to come over to 3 3/4 inches, where there's 3 1/2, there's 3 3/4. You're going to score again. Then you're going to come over to 7 1/4 inch, and you're going to score again. So there's your basic, right? And then you're going to turn this, and you're going to score in 5/8 of an inch. So there's a 1/2 inch, and then go over 2. And you're going to score from the top just down to this score line. Can you see that? So don't score all the way to the bottom, just from the top to the score line that's at the bottom. Then you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to that's more than 5/8 of an inch. That's 5/8 of an inch. Okay, sorry. You're going to trim this out and just try to keep it neat and tidy. I actually did mine on my paper cutter, but for the video we'll do it like this. I can't fit everything onto my workspace. So there you go. That's just trimmed out like that. Then you're going to accordion fold this. You're going to go over, you're going to go back, and then this little 1/4 inch flap is going to fold. So it's going to look like this. Do you see that? And there's the first part of your base. So just set this aside. Go ahead, burnish your creases. Then you're going to need, from the part that you trimmed off, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures, let me bring this in so you can see it, 5 inches wide by 6 inches long. Lay this on your scoring tool and you're going to score this on 3. And then fold this in half and burnish the crease. Now we're done with our scoring tool, so we can move that out of the way for the moment. We'll use it again later. Now bring in your card base, and you can either use glue or you can use score tape, but you want to run a 1/4 inch piece of score tape all the way along the edge and trim. Then peel off your backing. Okay. And here's this little 1/4 inch flap that we built. And you're going to carefully line this up with that flap and just glue it in place, press it in place. And then you're going to come in with your scissors again and just trim out this little extra piece of cardstock because we don't need him. And try to keep that. It's so hard to do these things on camera. I don't want to put my big head into the frame, but I also want that to be right. Okay. So that is your 4-fold folio. There's 1 fold, and then of course 2 folds, 3 folds, and 4 folds, and it opens out like this. You can do it like this. I chose to do it like a book, and you can see how you're going to have the staggered edges. If you wanted to at this point, you could use a corner chomper and shape your corners and do like an Art Deco corner or whatever. I just kept mine plain. I do want to take a moment and show you very quickly how to build the pocket for this back page. So for your pocket, this measures 5 inches. So I like to make my paper 1 inch wider on either side, and I like my pockets to be about 3 inches deep. So here's that other half of that 5 inch by 6 inch paper that we cut. I'm just going to take this little piece, I'm going to put it here on my paper cutter. I'm going to cut it at 3.5 and just put that little scrap aside. You can use it for, you make tabs with it or something. Bring in your score pal, lay it on your scoring board, and I actually do the short side first. I want a 1/2 inch on the bottom, a 1/2 inch here, then I flip it, 1/2 inch here. Don't do anything on the top. Bring in your scissors. You're going to miter the corner on either side. Let me move this guy out of the way. And this is the same basic procedure that I use for whatever kind of pocket I'm making. If it's tall and skinny, same thing. If it's for a little pocket, same thing. You're going to do this same procedure no matter what kind of pocket you're making. And the 1/2 inch seems to be a really good margin. And then I just take a little bit of glue and press down the corners. Like so. There's your pocket. And you can make these as tall or as short as you want them to be, but then this little guy is going to glue right in place here. And what you're going to do is cover this with designer paper, leave a tiny little border all the way around the edges, and then you come in with a circle punch. You're going to find the center, and with your designer paper there, you're just going to punch that out. I'm not going to do that because that means I can't use this pocket. So always measure the width of whatever, or the height if you're doing a side pocket. Add a 1/2 inch on either side and just follow this procedure, and that's how you make the pocket every single time. It will work every time. So that's really all I have to share with you today. I hope you'll give this little 4-fold folio a try. It's a lot of fun. You could use it for any theme. I happen to really love it with this vintage Hollywood paper. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll play along in the Frilly and Funky Challenge this time and go get your craft on.